They say with age comes wisdom, but few talk about how style evolves with that wisdom. In a world obsessed with youth, it's easy to forget that the most captivating fashion isn't about chasing trends, but embodying identity. For women, over 60 style becomes a reflection of legacy, not just lifestyle. I've spent over 3 decades studying how fashion transforms lives, not on catwalks, but in quiet rooms, family gatherings, bookshops, and garden paths, where real women age with purpose. And through it all, one thing is clear: true elegance ripens with time. Today's message is more than just tips on what to wear after 60. This is a deep exploration of fabric structure, silhouette, and the dialogue between clothing and character. Whether you're 60 or 86, the way a silk scarf brushes your collarbone, the strength in the way you stand in a tailored wool coat, it all speaks before you ever utter a word. Let's begin not with trends, but with essence. Let's redefine what it means to be attractively dressed after 60. Not because you need validation, but because you deserve to be seen. Fabric is more than material. It's conversation between your body and the world, between your movement and the memory of who you've become. For women over 60, fabric must be selected with reverence. Gone are the years of suffering for fashion. Comfort is no longer negotiable, but comfort does not exclude glamour. The way a fabric falls tells a story about your presence. Take silk charmeuse, it doesn't cling, it glides. When worn as a blouse or a scarf, it doesn't just beautify. It softens the room you walk into. It harmonizes with your breath. Imagine entering a dinner party in a midnight blue charmeuse tunic paired with ivory palazzo trousers. The room quiets not because of extravagance, but because you carry quiet power. That's the impact of fabric chosen with intention. Here are 5 essential fabric families for mature elegance. Silk blends, breathable, temperature-regulating, light-catching, perfect for evening events, gallery openings, or layered under a structured blazer. Cashmere and blends, gentle on aging skin, never bulky, always regal, with a lightweight cashmere georgette wrap ideal for transitional seasons. Stretch crepe-holding structure without stiffness, flowing without sloppiness. Ideal for dresses, coats, or wide-leg pants. Micromodal or jersey with lyocell fluid, ultra-soft, machine-washable, great for layering, or minimalist loungewear. And brocade and jacquard, where texture equals character, choosing muted metallics over loud prints for whispering elegance. Avoid synthetic polyesters that don't breathe over fussy lace or tulle unless the quality is exceptional, and high gloss finishes unless balanced by matte accessories. Susan, a retired ceramicist from Vermont, once told me she hadn't worn a dress in 15 years. She felt invisible. After a custom silk jersey dress in slate gray, she gasped at her reflection. I didn't know I could still look like that. She didn't change her body, just how she clothed it. That dress became her armor, her permission to feel radiant again. Structure is one of the most misunderstood words in fashion. Often associated with stiffness, it should instead mean freedom, especially for women over 60. Our bodies have stories. We've lived through decades of life, and our clothes should honor, not erase that. The beauty of modern tailoring is that it creates shape without shouting. Consider the classic sheath dress in Italian stretch crepe. It nips slightly at the waist, gliding gently over the hips. It doesn't squeeze, it contours. You feel held, not trapped. Or an A-line silhouette in jacquard. It draws the eye upward and allows the body to move freely. The modern trench dress collarless, draped elegant blends, tailored polish with flow. ideal for city walks or impromptu dinners. Marlene, age 70, didn't want just another gown for her granddaughter's wedding. She wore an ivory trench dress with a silk satin waist tie. People paused, not because she looked like a bride, but because she looked like a queen. Here's what to look for in structured pieces. Prioritize fabrics with drape soft shoulder lines, not hard pads layering pieces like vests or swing coats to build verticality, and use structure to shape, not to hide. Because your body isn't a problem to solve, it's a story to celebrate. Color isn't just decoration, it's expression. It's one of the most immediate, visceral elements of personal style. And for women over 60, color becomes a powerful tool for energy, identity, and elegance. Let's begin with jewel tones. Emerald, sapphire, amethyst. These rich, luminous colors exude strength and regality. They illuminate the skin, especially with natural silver or white hair. A deep plum-wrap dress or a sapphire blouse can create visual presence without being overpowering. Red is also a favorite. Not the fire engine red of youth, but a bold, refined crimson or garnet. A red midi dress in silk satin isn't just attention-grabbing, it's empowering. It says, I'm here, I'm still vibrant, and I own it. Then we have the neutrals. Ivory dove, gray warm taupe. When chosen, well, neutrals are far from bland. They act as a canvas for textural exploration and subtle detailing. Picture a gray cashmere dress with black velvet piping at the collar, or an ivory crepe ensemble with hand-knotted fringe at the hem. These aren't just garments, they're conversation pieces. One of my clients, Helena, age 68, loved color, but feared she could no longer wear mustard or burgundy like she did in her 40s. We experimented with layering a warm mustard scarf over a slate gray tunic paired with garnet earrings. The result? A look that honored both her maturity and her adventurous spirit. Color is not about age appropriateness, it's about soul appropriateness. If a color makes you stand taller and smile wider, wear it. And don't underestimate contrast. A monochrome base with a bold accessory, like a cobalt silk scarf or a coral clutch, can bring life to an otherwise minimal look. Ultimately, wear colors that make you feel seen by yourself first. Because when color aligns with spirit, style becomes effortless. Accessories are not afterthoughts. They are punctuation marks. They complete the sentence your outfit is trying to say. For women over 60, accessories are the clearest expression of intentionality. You've earned the right to be discerning, to curate. Let's start with shoes. Choose sleek pumps in quality leather. They instantly elevate posture and silhouette. Low block heels offer both stability and grace. And if your lifestyle leans casual pointed toe flats or refined loafers, bring elegance to comfort. Belts are sculptors. A slender crocodile embossed belt wrapped around a flowing dress defines your waist with luxury. Wide belts can work too, especially over coats or tunics, creating proportion and polish. Jewelry is storytelling. South Sea pearls suggest timeless grace. A handcrafted cuff in aged gold says, I collect moments, not trends. Let your jewelry lead the eye, draw attention to the neck, wrist, or ears based on your mood. And let's not forget scarves. A silk twill scarf in vibrant patterns can lift a monochrome outfit instantly. Loop it around your neck, weave it into your hair, or tie it to a handbag. Outerwear, too, becomes an accessory. A tailored wool cape, a cashmere blend shawl, or a collarless pea coat can turn even the simplest outfit into a statement. Diane, 73, once told me her favorite accessory was a vintage brooch from her late husband's travels. She wore it on her lapel every Sunday, not because it was trendy, but because it was sacred. Accessories are more than embellishments. They are extensions of memory, taste, and spirit. Don't underestimate their power to transform the familiar into the extraordinary. Confidence is not a garment, but it is your most powerful layer. For women over 60, confidence is the sum of wisdom, self-awareness, and acceptance. It is the quiet refusal to shrink and the boldness to take up space not with volume, but with intention. You wear confidence in the way you walk into a room, the way you meet someone's eyes, the way you smile at your reflection with softness, not scrutiny. True style is not performative, it's expressive. It doesn't beg to be seen, it simply is. I remember Judith, a retired literature professor in her early 80s. She once told me, "I don't dress to impress anymore. I dress to remember who I am." That is confidence. Confidence means wearing linen even if it wrinkles. It means choosing flats over heels because you want to dance longer. It means pairing pearls with denim just because it makes you feel playful. Clothing becomes liberation when it stops being a mask and starts being a mirror. So here's the truth. When you are confident, everything you wear becomes beautiful. Even the simplest dress, when worn with joy and conviction, becomes unforgettable. So whether you are stepping into your 7th decade or well beyond it, remember your style doesn't need permission. Your beauty doesn't need defense. And your confidence. It is the most timeless thing you own. Style comes alive not only in garments, but in the lives they touch. Let me take you inside a few stories. Real women, real transformations. There was Grace, 66, a former midwife who spent her entire career in scrubs. When she retired, she came to me and said, "I want to wear color again." We started small, soft, cranberry knit dresses, amber-toned shawls, turquoise beads she had stored away since the 80s. Each layer we added, she seemed to stand taller. By spring, she was attending poetry readings dressed like a muse. Then there was Fatima, a widowed woman from Morocco who had moved to France in her 70s. She used to wear only black out of tradition and grief. But slowly, she allowed rust orange, olive green, and pale gold into her wardrobe. The first time she wore a silk tunic in emerald with hand embroidery, she looked in the mirror and wept. "I see my mother again," she said. And let me tell you about Joan, 82, a former ballroom dancer. She insisted on sparkle sequins at brunch metallic shoes to the grocery store. "People stare," she said, "but I'm not ready to stop twirling." These are not just women, they are declarations. Declarations that style does not fade. It evolves, it remembers, it reclaims. Real style doesn't copy what others wear. It uncovers what we buried under expectation, routine, and fear. And every time you choose to dress with joy, with flair, with quiet rebellion, or dignified elegance, you give other women permission to do the same. So tell your story with color, with drape, with texture, with earrings that belong to your aunt and a coat you bought for yourself because you deserved it. You are not invisible. You are a work of art in progress. The mirror does not lie, but sometimes it forgets. Style reminds it. Because at the end of the day, dressing well isn't about trying to reclaim the past. It's about celebrating the present, the body you inhabit now, the wisdom etched into your hands, the confidence that no longer asks for permission. Fashion after 60 isn't about rules. It's about resonance. It's about choosing fabrics that glide and silhouettes that breathe. It's about dressing in ways that reflect not who you were, but who you are and who you are becoming. You don't need to mimic youth to feel vibrant. You don't need to blend in to look appropriate. You are the standard. So go ahead. Buy the silk, wear the brooch, dance in flats, laugh in red, layer that scarf you found in Paris 20 years ago. Style isn't about catching eyes. It's about keeping your own gaze steady, loving proud. You've walked through decades of change. Why not dress like it? Because no matter your age, your story continues. And the way you dress, that's how you show the world you're still living it. If this message resonated with you, if you found inspiration, reflection, or even just a new way to look at your wardrobe, I invite you to be part of this growing circle of women who dress with purpose. Subscribe to the channel for more thoughtful fashion conversations, real-life stories, and timeless styling wisdom tailored for you. And if you know someone, a sister, a friend, your mother, your neighbor who needs to be reminded that style doesn't expire, share this video with them. Together, let's build a space where beauty, elegance, and confidence don't age, they deepen.